bitch, you always on my line with on my line. You ain't never got a dime, got a dime to get a liquor store, the D-boy and designer for glory. Then you hit my line and all I ever get is the story. But you know that I'm some pimp. What's up with it, y'all? Can y'all hear me cool? But you ain't trying to know, institute. My institute is totally different. Bitch, you totally a bum and I'm here totally. Gave a couple niggas money. I need my moment, dog. You gave a lot of niggas honey. Bitch, I need some hoeing, dog. You need to give a pimp the money. Give me my moment, ho. Charge them suckers for the honey. Just need some hoeing, you weak bitches, y'all so broken, y'all disgusting, you don't never. What's up? I can't see y'all's chat for some reason. Now, unless ain't nobody said nothing, but I'm sure somebody that said something by now. You won't catch it with no boyfriend. She get attracted. He gave a couple niggas money. I need my moment, dog. You gave a lot of niggas honey. Yeah, we're gonna have us a good one tonight, though. You need to give the money. I'm tripping. I ain't even got my love on me. Hold on a second, y'all. If you ain't paying pimpin', bitch, pay attention to the. You gave a couple niggas money. I need my moment, dog. You gave a lot of niggas honey. Bitch, I need some hoeing, dog. You need to give a pimp the money. Give me my moment, ho. Charge them suckers for the honey. I just need some hoeing, dog. You gave a couple niggas money. I need my moment, dog. Go ahead and put some love in your life if you haven't already today. You need to give a pimp the money. Give me my moment, ho. Charge them suckers for the honey. I just need some honey. Pimpin' is set up. I don't know how to let her. I go hard on the bitch and make her face the pressure head up. If she greater or lesser, that pressure gon' test her to see. And if it's tested, then that's gon' bring out the best of her. See? You see? What's up with y'all, man? I'm trying to get some things together before we get started. But how y'all doing though? For some damn reason, I can't see y'all's I can't see y'all in the chat. I guess I'll just have to do it this way. I see y'all tapping in. Christian Murphy, I appreciate your contribution. Reno Red as well. Blessings to you as well. What's up with y'all though, man? We're gonna have a good one tonight, man. Yeah. I'm trying to hold on, man. This shit is not cooperating with a pimp, man. Okay. That'll do. Okay. Just getting some things in order, y'all. Excuse my pimping. I see it's a good amount of y'all in here, so we're going to get right to it. But first and foremost, as I just said, and I'm saying it again, go ahead and put some love in your life, man. Y'all know how we get down over here. It's what people who love themselves do. They put this love in their body. You dig? That H2O, that love break, you dig? But yeah, I see y'all in here. Arizona, 619 Capricorn. I see y'all. OG Ken, what's up with it? You said you was doing the Birdman beforehand, huh? Yeah, man. So getting right into it, as the title suggests, I'll tell y'all a story about when I was in Ohio and I really should have been killed in Ohio. You know what I mean? My boy Smooth. Now, for those of y'all that seen the thumbnail to this video, really this is a separate live. I didn't go with the one that was scheduled. So when I started this one, y'all probably, if y'all was inside the one that was scheduled, y'all had to come out of that and come in here. But nonetheless, the thumbnail that I had on the schedule, if you look at the cat to my left, excuse me, with the Long Beach jersey on, you got the Long Beach baseball jersey on, that's Smooth. Anybody who really knows Freeze knows that Smooth is like my ace boom coon. Me and Smooth done been through everything together. You name it, we done been through it. So this story that I'm telling y'all about is mainly about Smooth and myself, which at this point right now, Smooth is in the feds. He down right now. He been down for almost 4 years. And hopefully, God willing, he'll be out this year. But yeah, so this story is about Smooth and myself. Let's see, where should I begin? Okay, this is back in 2001, right? Where the story begins. The story begins in 2001, right? And for those of y'all who seen my life before the game, if you remember, in that live, I was talking about how Smooth and myself had the phone hustle cracking. Smooth, myself, and his cousin Stacy. 3 of us had that phone hustle cracking. Hold on just a second, right? Let me do something real quick. Hold on, y'all. All right, I'm back with you. Pimping back with you. Mr. PT Globe, Montreal in the house. Salute. Good looking. Penelope out of Dayton, Ohio. See, this story that I'm talking about take place in Toledo, Ohio, the 419, right? But so Smooth and myself, right? Like I told y'all in that my life before the game, me, him, and Stacy, he had the phone hustle cracking, right? Now, at this point in time, this is when Stacy was still active, because like I told y'all in that other live video, there was a point in time where Stacy quit. You know what I mean? He wasn't getting down with us no more. But at this point in time that I'm talking about, this when this story takes place, the 3 of us are still active in the hustle. But Smooth and myself, we took a trip to Ohio, right? Now, the reason why Smooth and myself went to Ohio, one, because I take that back. The first time we really went just to kick it, right? Because it was a broad that I went to high school with in Cali, who at this point in time was living in Toledo, Ohio. Because that's where she originally from. That's where all her family and shit is. So at this point in time, this few years, well, about a year or so after high school, you know what I mean? I'm not too far removed from high school. The broad, she done moved to Toledo. She's staying out there by herself. Got her little 1-bedroom apartment out there. So that was my reason for going out there. And then Smooth's reason for going out there was because he had a daughter that was living in Akron, Ohio, which is where Smooth's baby mama is from. So shout out to Portia. Good peoples. So Smooth's daughter is in Akron, Ohio. The little broad that I'm going out there to see is in Toledo. So we go to Toledo, Smooth and myself, we fly into Detroit and we go to Toledo, and him and myself, initially we stand with the broad in Toledo, right?
Um, we just gonna call her A. So we both stand with A in Ohio, in Toledo, right? We first get there. Now, this is in 2001, around October. You dig? Matter of fact, when we flew out there, it wasn't even a month after 9/11 happened. And this was my first time getting on the plane, you dig? So, uh, security when it came to flying was on super high alert, you know what I mean? But so this is like early October, 2001. We fly out there, you dig? We staying with A in Toledo at her little 1 bedroom apartment. We Even though we got our hustle going on back in Cali, we didn't go out there to hustle. You did. We just went out there, me, myself to kick it with her, him to kick it with his daughter. So I use A's car to take Smooth to Akron, which I believe, if I remember correctly, it's a nice little drive. It's like 4 hours, if I remember correctly, from Toledo to Akron, because Akron is way on the other side of Ohio, going east. Toledo is like northwest. So I use A's car to take Smooth to Akron to go see his daughter. I believe he stayed out there for like a week or something with his daughter and his baby mama, some along them lines. But anyway, so it's just me and A at the house by ourselves, right? Now, mind you, this whole time A got a boyfriend, right? And this nigga's like madly in love with the bitch, you dig? So A's boyfriend comes by the house. We're gonna call him C. You dig? The boyfriend C come to the house. Now, when he came to the crib, A had explained to him, that I was just a friend, and we wasn't it was just like a platonic thing. We wasn't getting down, or we just friends. I'm her old friend from California. It ain't nothing like that. So she says to him. But this is Young Freeze before the game, and I was smashing. Hey, you know what I mean? I was hitting it. You dig? So we getting down doing our thing, but C is under the boyfriend. C, he's under the impression that ain't nothing going on. So he come over to the house. He meet me. We talked briefly for a minute. He didn't stay that long. You know what I mean? And he ended up bouncing. So so that was the first trip out there, right? And that's pretty much how things went. I used A's car to go back and get Smooth from Akron. Brought him back. He stayed with me and her in Ohio for a minute. And we went back to California, right? So, like I said, when I was there in Ohio, A explained to the boyfriend C that we didn't have nothing going on. You did. But shortly after I left, she came clean and spilled the beans. You dig, and let C know that Freeze was all up in her guts. You dig. So she was letting him know that she had dick in her guts. You know what I mean? And he had from that point he developed bad nerves in his guts. You know what I mean? So she got dick in her guts, and he got bad nerves in his guts. You dig. So so let me just read the comments, make sure y'all up to speed. Okay, cool. So boom, like I said, you know what I mean? He got sourness in his guts, she got dick in her guts. He mad about it, right? So fast forward to almost a year later. Fast forward to August 2002, right? So this almost a year later, right? 2002. But see, we take another trip out there, right? But this time we not on no leisure shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, Smooth gonna see his daughter while he there, and I'ma be around A, but I'm not trying to be romantic with A. I'm just trying to use me and Smooth just using her crib as a place to lay our head so that we can get our dough. You dig? Because like I said in the live, my life before the game, we burnt California out. So fast forward to 2002. At this point, we done burnt out the West Coast. We can't do our thing over there the way we normally was doing it. So we wanted to venture out. So when I went to Ohio this time with Smooth, we was strictly on a money mission. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to fuck the bitch or nothing like that. We strictly on a money mission. And she's somebody that I knew out that way where we could lay our heads. So that's what it was, right? So, and she was cool with that. You dig? I didn't like necessarily stipulate like, look, bitch, I'm coming, but we not fucking. It just kind of like happened, and she didn't, you know, she didn't have no problem with that. So, we fly to Detroit again. We fly into Detroit Wayne Airport, and when we get there, we was stuck at the airport. You dig? Because I was trying to get A to come and get me, but it was some type of misunderstanding. So me and Smooth was stuck at the airport all night. We got there at night and we was there, I think, like to the next day. We was at the airport damn near a whole day. You dig? So we just at the airport, you know, stuck. At this time, it's 2002. We a long way from Uber and Lyft. You know what I mean? Ain't no ride share going on. You know what I mean? The taxi drive would have been $1 million. So you know, we pretty much stuck at the airport. You dig? Ain't no train, ain't no other transportation to get there. Either you got a ride or you just asked out. You know what I mean? It might have been a shuttle to take us there, but I don't even think that was on our mind. If I remember correctly, though, it probably wasn't no shuttle because we exhausted every option. So while we stuck at the airport, right, we meet this dude that work at the airport, and he from Detroit. Well, actually, he was from anybody in the comment section is familiar with Detroit. It's a town that's south of Detroit. I want to say it's either Taylor or Detroit or Troy. I kind of want to say it was Taylor, Michigan, or Troy, Michigan, one of those. But okay. Oh yeah, Cut Boy, I know you from around that way. Yeah. So yeah, Taylor, right? The dude we meet at the airport, he from Taylor. And at first we start talking about music, you know what I mean? Because Smooth produce and rap, I rap. And the dude that we met from Taylor, he was a producer. You dig? So that was kind of like how the conversation started at first. So then we was chopping it up for a minute. I think he was on his lunch break or some shit like that. And he had been seeing us up there all day. He was like, man, y'all been up here for a minute. You know what I mean? So we get to chopping it with him. And after we get past the music conversation, it's kind of like when Slum Village was starting to do their thing, you know what I mean? And we wasn't really familiar with Slum Village yet. And he was telling us about them. You know what I mean? It's that time frame. So after a minute into the conversation, we let him know why we was there. We like, look, man, we just broke everything down to him because he was cool as a motherfucker. So we like, look, man, this what we got going on, and this what we out here for. You know what I mean? We got this phone hustle. We kind of gave him enough details to where, you know, it would spark his interest. And he like, oh, that's what's up, man. I know some people I could plug y'all with, you know what I mean? So y'all could do y'all thing. So we end up making it to Ohio, to Toledo, and we get settled in and everything with A at her crib or whatever, at her apartment. And what we started doing is we would use A's car to go back and forth to Detroit. We would go every day to Detroit and do our thing. You know what I mean? We went out there the first time and linked up with dude from Taylor. Man, I can't remember his name. It's on the tip of my damn tongue though. But he was cool as a motherfucker. And it was funny, man, because you know how Cut Boy, you know how y'all Detroit motherfuckers talk, you know what I mean? He was giving us directions. Tony Davis, good looking, man. I appreciate you for the contribution. But we on our way up there. We talking to old boy on the phone. And he like, yeah, man, you know, you gonna go to 7 Mile Road, you know what I mean? And you gonna see a Farmer Jack's on your right hand side. You know what I mean? And you gonna see this thing, right? Y'all from Cali, so I know y'all ain't familiar with it, but it's a thing called a Michigan left. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a U-turn, but we call it a Michigan left. So you're gonna go up on 7 Mile Road. You know what I mean? You're gonna see a Farmer Jack's on the right-hand side, you know what I mean? And you're gonna do a Michigan left. I'll never forget that. No, I mean, he had me dying when he was giving us directions. So we end up meeting up with him, and then because I think he was from Detroit, but he just was living in Taylor at the time when we met him. You did. So boom, we meet up with old boy, right? Then he introduced us to his homeboys on the west side of Detroit. You know what I mean? So we go to the west side, we meet up with all his homies and shit. You know what I mean? They all cool as a motherfucker. You dig? And out of all of his homies, we get cool with D. D was like the big homie in the crew. You know what I mean? He was like they big homie, and everybody in their little circle kind of looked up to him. You know what I mean? So boom, we link up with D. And once we link up with D, we get so cool with D that the original cat from Taylor, we kind of like, you know what I mean? Because he wasn't really getting involved with the hustle because I guess, you know, he was working. And D was more like us. You know what I mean? D didn't have no job. He was a hustler like us. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the reason why we kind of got cool with D. You know what I mean? So we get cool with D. You know what I mean? Break everything down to him. And D was a cool motherfucker, man. He showed us around town, you know what I mean, introduced us to some more of his homies, you know what I mean. We went to the club downtown Detroit. This one Lil Flip first started popping, you know what I mean. We up in the club in Detroit, me and Smooth, we with D and his whole crew, and Lil Flip come on, this is the way we ball. And we like the only niggas in the club who don't know the song. That shit came on, and everybody in the club was just on one accord singing that motherfucker and vibing and shit. We was like out of place, like, damn, what the fuck is this? But yeah, so that's when I first got introduced to Lil Flip's music. But anyway, so we start kicking it at D's crib. D stayed on the west side on Plymouth and Archdale. You know what I mean? Stayed on Archdale, just south of Plymouth, you know what I mean, on the west side. So we over there kicking it with D, right? And I tell you, I got a lot of respect for Detroit because Detroit and Cut Boy, you know you from there. Hey, Detroit is the most hustling ass niggas that I've ever been around. And I done been cross country, in the game, out the game. You know what I mean? Dealt with all kind of different niggas, got money with all kind of different niggas on some hustle shit, then pimped around all kind of different motherfuckers. I ain't never seen nobody hustle like them Detroit niggas, though. I'm talking about, just to give you an idea how Detroit niggas get down, right? Like the homie D who we was fucking with, right? We'll all have a pocket full of money. Detroit niggas don't like paying for shit. Never. If they could get over, they gonna get over. Motherfucker might have thousands in his pocket, you know what I mean? But if he could get something without paying for it, that's what he gonna do. You know what I mean? So the homie D, like I said, we'll all of us will have a pocket full of money. We go through the Wendy's drive-through, and D, he'll put on his motherfucking preppy ass white man voice. We'll pull up to the drive-through. Welcome to Wendy's. How may I help you? He's like, yeah, I was just here a couple hours ago on my lunch break, and I ordered a chicken sandwich with no cheese. They messed up my order and they put cheese on it, and I was so upset I threw the food away. Well, oh, just pull to the window, sir. We pull up to the window. They giving us all free food. Or you know, well, what was it that you wanted on your order? He telling them, you know what I mean? He get free food for all of us, like. And we got a pocket full of money. We could easily pay for this shit and it won't hurt, but that's just how Detroit niggas is, at least my experience. You know what I mean? The Detroit niggas I was around, them niggas wasn't trying to pay for shit. Another thing that was real popular at that time was the motherfucking homeowners insurance thing. They had a homeowner's insurance ring going on out there where the motherfuckers will buy, a little house or whatever, little cheap house. They got cheap houses out there. You know what I mean? Niggas will buy a little cheap house, act like they living in that motherfucker for a minute, then burn that motherfucker down, get the homeowner's insurance settlement money. You know what I mean? Niggas had all kind of shit going on. I don't want to say too much, you know what I mean? But I'll just give you an idea. So, and them niggas be hella resourceful. So, like the homie D, he was a resourceful ass nigga. So he had a homeboy that worked at it was either Thrifty or Dollar car rental. I kind of want to say it was Dollar. But D had a homeboy that worked at Dollar car rental, right? Dollar rental car, whatever you call it. This nigga was crazy. He was a cold ass chain smoker, right? Every time you see this nigga, he's smoking a cigarette. He don't keep a cigarette out of his mouth for longer than a few seconds. I'm talking about this nigga constantly smoking, right? So he was really deaf on cigarettes. So niggas used to give him a carton of cigarettes and he'll give you a motherfucking rental car just for a damn carton of cigarettes. And what he would do is whoever the last person was that rented the car, he'll just put that shit on their tab. He'll extend it in their name on their credit card and just give you the motherfucking car. So that's what we did. You know what I mean? First he had put us in a Buick. I want to say it was like the Buick Regal, like the new one at that time, the 4-door. You know what I mean? He had us in the Regal at first. Then he put us in the drop top Sebring. You know what I mean? So we riding around in the drop top Sebring and shit. You know what I mean? We just gave him a carton of cigarettes for that shit. You know what I mean? And he hooked it up. So we get money with D and everything. You know what I mean? We having phones shipped in. D selling the motherfuckers around the hood. You know what I mean? We getting some cool little money around there like that. And we was in the mall one day. We was in the Southfield Mall. You dig? Which, if I'm not mistaken, I think somebody said that shit ain't even there no more. Somebody might be able to correct me if I'm wrong. But back at that time, they had the Southfield Mall. You know what I mean? Pretty cool mall. So we up in there shopping and shit, right? It's like a Saturday. And was it Northland? It might have been Northland. I don't know. I just remember I think we was in Southfield. But that might be the name of the mall. I don't know. Yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, it probably was the Northland Mall then. But we was in the city of Southfield though, I'm pretty sure. So we in that mall, right? So we in there shopping this Saturday. We trying to get ready to get fly because we gonna go out Saturday night to the club, do our thing. You know what I mean? Downtown Detroit. So while we in the mall shopping, A calls me, right? Because at first we was using her car, like I said, but now we got the rental situation, so we not even using her car. We just laying our head at her crib. We just showering and sleeping there, and then we gone. You know what I mean? And then once we got cool with D, we kind of like start being at his house a lot, and we was getting money, so it was a type of thing where we wasn't even spending too much time at A's crib no more. You know what I mean? Because once we met D, we was always at his joint. You know what I mean? It got to the point where we was sleeping and showering over there and just getting money. You know what I mean? So, it's some things that I left out with A though, concerning A, right? So, before we had the rental car situation, when we still using A's car, right? What happened? Oh, so it was a time where I took Smooth, because like I said, Smooth daughter stay in Akron, right? So I took Smooth to go see his daughter in Akron, you know what I mean, in A's car. And on my way back from Akron to Toledo, I'm probably about an hour and a half away from Toledo, and A's car break down on the side of the highway, right? So call her, let her know what's up. her and her sister come, you know what I mean, her sister's car. They pick me up, we go back to Toledo. We leave the car there at first, you know what I mean? But the boyfriend C paid for the car to get repaired and brought back to Toledo, right? But he only paid, I think, like $60 because it was something minor, you know what I mean? He didn't spend no whole bunch of money on that shit. Uh but anyway, he did that. So damn, something else I was about to say too. What the fuck? So he do that, right? So that was one thing. And then that was another thing too, right? For Angel letting us stay there, I had gave her a brand new phone. You know what I mean? It was like the flyest phone at the time, the Sanyo 6000. You know, at the time, it was the thinnest cell phone in the world. That motherfucker was like this thin. You know what I mean? And it was the shit at that time. It was the phone that everybody wanted. You did. So I said her name. Fuck her though. You know what I mean? You right. I said her name accidentally. You know what I mean? But it is what it is though. You know what I mean? If you caught it, you caught it. If you didn't, you didn't. It is what it is. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But anyway, right? So I gave her the phone and you know, I was doing little shit. I think we had like put some groceries in her crib. Little shit like that. I was just basically helping around at the crib, you know what I mean? For her letting us stay there and utilize her car, utilize her crib, and get to this money. You dig? So it was one night we was sitting at the crib watching a movie, right? Me, her, and Smooth. We sitting at the crib watching a movie, right? And it's like 2 a.m. or some shit like that. And her older brother came to the crib, right? And he kind of like an older, like hood type nigga, you know what I mean? And he come to the crib, you know, she let him in and everything. And she like, he like, what's up with your nigga, man? And she like, what you mean? And he like, yeah, when I was coming up here, I seen that nigga C, you know what I mean? Like just chilling by your door, like he was listening and looking under the door and shit. He was down on his knees, like he was looking under the door because her apartment was like that, you know what I mean? It had the type of door where you could kind of like look under that motherfucker and see feet moving around. This nigga was really like over there just like on some creeper, you know, stalker type shit because he knew I was over there. And like I said, the bitch fucked around and told his ass from the year before that I was over there smashing. So just looking at it from a boyfriend perspective, you know what I mean? He know that I was smashing last year. So I'm pretty sure he thinking that I'm smashing this year too. You dig? Even though I wasn't this time, but nonetheless, this is what's going on in his head. So shit like that was going on. And then oh yeah. So remember I said he paid the little $60 for the car repairs, right? And to get her car back to Toledo. And at that time I was still using her car even after he got it fixed and it came back. Now, mind you, I ain't even seen this nigga yet. You know what I mean? I haven't seen her talk to him, but that's her boyfriend, so she's still dealing with him. You know what I mean? But he ain't came to the house. I haven't physically seen him or any of that. Ain't talked to him, none of that, right? So, I guess the bitch, you know, she started letting him know that we was getting money. You know what I mean? So he was like, "Oh well, since they be using your car, you know what I mean? He need to pay me the $60. The $60 for that I spent on it." So she relayed a message to me. I say, cool, you know what I mean? I'll give him the $60. But I think when she told me I was in Detroit at the time or whatever, you dig? So later on, I'm back at her apartment, you know, and she said that he was like, he had changed his mind. Like instead of the $60, I think he wanted like a phone or some shit like that. You know what I mean? But whatever the case, it went from he wanted the $60 to he didn't want the $60 and he wanted a phone, I think, but it went to him not wanting the $60. Then it changed it back. He was like, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? Tell that nigga I want the $60 again. You know what I mean? So when she told me that he wanted the $60 again, at this time I'm at her apartment. So I tell her, I say, look, all this relaying messages through you and everything, you know what I mean? I ain't with all that. You dig? I always been a man. At the time, I'm only like 20 years old. You know what I mean? But I just always been a man. I ain't never been with all that old punk ass shit. So I tell her, I say, look, man, tell that nigga if he wants the $60, I'll give it to him, but he got to come and get it from me personally. I'm not finna keep dealing with you, passing messages through you and give you the money to get to him and all that old punk shit. Tell the nigga, you know what I mean? But I wasn't disrespectful to her though when I was saying this, you know what I mean? I just said, look, tell him if he wants the $60, he got to come and get it from my hand personally, right? So she say, okay, right? Now, probably like 20 minutes later, this shit crazy, right? 20 minutes later, we leave her crib, me and Smooth, we leave in her car on our way back to Detroit, right? So we pull up at a red light and we in the right, it's two lanes. And we in the right-hand lane at the red light, right? No, I take that back. We in the left-hand lane, pull up to a red light, right? So me and Smooth in her car. So the nigga pull up, right? The nigga pulls up on the side of us at the red light to where like we kind of like boxed in because traffic is going this way. So we couldn't gun the red light if we wanted to, you know what I mean? But for some reason, like I just wasn't fearful though. And I know he had the hammer on him, you know what I mean? Him and his niggas. He had like two niggas in the car with him, all three of them. I know they all strapped, you know what I mean? Me and Smooth are not strapped, you dig? But I don't know. I guess it's because like, you know, being from California and seeing the shit that I done seen and earlier that year, the year before that I had got shot already, you know what I mean? So I had already been through situations where I felt like I shouldn't even be here, you know what I mean? So I guess maybe subconsciously I always felt like God had me for some reason, even when I was doing wrong. But whatever the case, I just wasn't fearful, man. So the nigga pull up on the right side of us at the red light, and he got his hand like down here, you know what I mean? Like, and he driving, and he got one nigga shotgun and another nigga in the back seat. You know what I mean? He in like a Lincoln Town car. You know what I mean? So he pull up and he like, I swear, you would have thought we owed this nigga like 20 kilos of cocaine or some shit the way he pulled up. The nigga pulled up like, yeah, nigga, the fuck is up with my money, nigga? And me and Smooth just looked at each other like, nigga, what type of shit is that? You know what I mean? And that, mind you, they on Smooth side. You dig? A Smooth riding shotgun, I'm driving. But the nigga pull up like, yeah, nigga, fuck is up with my money, nigga? And I guess because he got his homeboys and they all got pistols or something. I don't, maybe he felt like, I don't know. But I just kind of looked with like a regular ass nonchalantness about myself. Like, look, man, I told Angel I was gonna give you the little $60, man. The nigga was like, yeah, nigga, when you get back around here, nigga, you better have my motherfucking money. Yeah! And he smashed off. And, hey, I swear to you, this nigga was like, he was like the Flash or something, because he do that shit. Me and Smooth just laughing like, is this nigga serious? He doing all this shit over 60 motherfucking dollars? So me and Smooth, we get on the expressway, right? And when we get on the expressway, this just like a couple minutes later, you dig? I call her on her house phone. You dig? She answered the phone. I say, yeah, man, tell your boy if he got an issue with me, we could talk man to man. We don't need no audience and all this, that, and the third and all the tough guy shit. Tell him to save all that. You know what I mean? I'm a man, he a man. We could talk like men if he got an issue. The nigga was on the other phone in the other room the whole time. Yeah, nigga. You heard what the fuck I said, nigga? When you get back over here, nigga, it's on, nigga. When I see you, nigga, it's on. Woo, woo. I'm like, all right, man, whatever with the tough guy shit. You know what I mean? Nigga hang up the phone. So we get back to Detroit. Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, this is when we first had got the rental car. You dig? So we get back to Detroit. Like I said, we go out there in her car. We end up getting a rental car. And then after that, we was in the mall in Southfield, that Northland Mall. Then that's when she called me while we was in the mall, right? And this is Saturday. The next day, when he had pulled up on us and all that shit, that was on Friday. So the next day, Saturday, that's when she called me on the phone and she was like, look, you and your boy, y'all gonna have to come get y'all stuff out of my apartment because this ain't gonna work out. Y'all gotta leave. I say, because that's true. We already was planning to leave anyway after all that shit that the boyfriend did. I'm like, man, nigga don't even want to deal with them. Plus we was cool with D. We had already pretty much been staying at his crib anyway. So boom. She tell me that, get off the phone with her. So like I said, now we got the rental car. We got the Buick. I'm pretty sure it was a Regal or some shit like that. But we got the rental car or whatever. So me and Smooth, we get ready to go down to Toledo and drop her car off and get our shit. Now, mind you, we brought all of our motherfucking clothes because we was planning on being gone from California for some months, right? So we brought suitcases of shit, me and Smooth. We brought a whole bunch of motherfucking clothes. You know what I mean? At that time, like I told y'all in the other live, My Life Before the Game, my whole wardrobe was a Nietzsche. You know what I mean? That was my shit at the time. I guess it froze up. Okay, we back though. But yeah, my whole wardrobe was a Nietzsche at that time. Smooth was a Fat Farm nigga at the time, so he had a whole bunch of Fat Farm shit. I had a whole bunch of Nietzsche shit, you know what I mean, at her apartment. Suitcases worth of that shit, right? Whole bunch of shoes. At the time, I was really into Timberlands too. I had like 10 pairs of Timberlands at her house, you know what I mean, different pairs of sneakers and shit. So we getting ready to go back down to her crib, right? And like I said, we fuck with my nigga D on the west side of Detroit. And I know he got pistols and shit, you know what I mean? He the only nigga we know out here, you know what I mean? So I'm like, and I done seen him let his niggas hold pistols before, you know what I mean? So I'm like, hey, my nigga, why don't you let us hold something, man? Because I had explained to him the situation anyway, how the nigga pulled up on us, all that shit. He already know what's going. He know it's like tension between the boyfriend and me. He know the whole get down. So I say, hey, man, why don't you let me hold something? You know what I mean, so I could be cool when I go down here. You know what I mean? And he like, oh man, nah, man, because every time I let one of my niggas hold the pistol, man, them niggas don't be bringing my shit back, and you know what I mean, they just be doing all kind of crazy shit, man. So nah, man, I gotta, I can't let you do that. So but he like, if something jump off, me and my niggas will slide down there, you know what I mean? So I was like, whatever about that, you know what I mean? I was like, all right, man. So we get down there, we get off the freeway, right? And I called D before we pull up to her crib. I say, look, man, we finna pull up to her joint. If I don't hit you back in like 20 minutes, then you know something is up. He like, all right, cool. So we pull up to her joint, right? Like I said, I'm driving the rental car. No. I'm driving her car. Smooth is driving the rental car. You did? Because we coming to drop her car off and get our shit and bounce. So we pull into the parking lot of her apartment complex, right? And the way her apartment complex is set up, it's like different buildings. It's probably like 5 different buildings. You know what I mean? They all like 2-story buildings. She stay upstairs. Um, did she nah, they might have been more than 2-story buildings, might have been 3 stories or whatever. But I know she stayed upstairs, right? So we pull up, right? It's a ghost town. It ain't nobody in the parking lot. It ain't no cars there. It ain't even no cars parked. The parking lot is empty. And the only motherfuckers in sight is her and the boyfriend, and they sitting in his car, in the town car, right? So we pull up, they sitting in the car. It's just them two. And we pull up, you know what I mean? He don't even look at us. You know what I mean? He just sitting there being cool, but the whole time I know it's some bullshit finna happen. You know what I mean? So we go upstairs and we go to her apartment. She opened the door. Now, when you go into her apartment, right? When you walk in, it's a wall on this side, right? Her door opens this way though, and it's a wall over there. Immediate, like when you first walk in, as soon as you walk in to the left, Smooth had all of his shit arranged right there. He had all his shoes laid out, his suitcases with his clothes and shit. You know what I mean? That's where Smooth shit was at. She had gave me a closet. I think it was the hallway closet, if I remember correctly. But I had a whole closet to myself filled with my shit. It wasn't nothing in that closet but my shit, right? So we walk in and look, and Smooth shit is gone. You dig? So oh, and that was another thing I left out, right? There will be times when we come back to her apartment at like 2, 3 in the morning, and she would leave it unlocked for us because we didn't have a key. You know what I mean? And she'll be out with her boyfriend, and when she go out with him, she'll leave the apartment unlocked for us, right? So fast forward, we in her joint, Smooth shit is gone. I go to the closet, my shit is gone. So we kind of just we already knew what was up. We just laughed. But at first we was like, what happened to our shit? Where's our shit at? And she's like, oh, somebody must have came in here when I left the door unlocked for y'all and y'all didn't come. So we like, all right, man, whatever. We already know what's up, but we ain't tripping. You know what I mean? We getting money. We'll get that shit back. So we getting ready to walk out the door. It's Smooth first. Smooth is the one who opened the door. You dig? So Smooth and then myself, and conveniently, she just happened to be the last one getting ready to come out the door, right? So Smooth turns the doorknob. Before he could even open the door, as soon as the doorknob turned, boom, the niggas bust in, right? It's 3 of them. The same 3 niggas that was in the car. Him and his 2 boys, right? The boyfriend C and his 2 homeboys or whatever, right? They bust in, right? Niggas got burners and shit. When they bust in, the door had knocked me because I was like right by the door. Was it Smooth or me? Yeah, it was me. I got knocked behind the door because I'm like right by Smooth, you know what I mean? So I get knocked behind the door. They knock Smooth down. You know what I mean? They start pistol whipping him. The boyfriend, when he come in and close the door, you know, he see me behind the door. The nigga fire on me, you know what I mean? And he hit like a bitch. But because these niggas got pistols, you know what I mean? The nigga fired on me and I'm like, ugh. I play like the nigga, you know, I play like he really didn't, like he gave me a good one, but he really hit like a bitch though, you know what I mean? But the nigga fired on me. I go down, you know what I mean, purposely. And you know, them niggas is stomped. Well, the boyfriend, he's stomping me out, you know what I mean? And it was weird because the whole shit is about me. That's why I felt so fucked up, because this whole issue is over me. And maybe they purposely did that, you know what I mean? But they fucked my nigga Smooth up real bad, you know what I mean? It was the 2 homeboys over there stomping Smooth out, and the boyfriend was over here stomping me out. And the whole time he like, nigga, where the money at, nigga? Where the money at, nigga? And I told him, because we had left the money uh we had put our money together and left it in I forget how much it was, but it wasn't a whole we didn't bring a whole lot of money with us though. But we had left the money inside the rental car that Smooth was driving. We left it inside the rental car in like the little pocket in the driver's side door. So I tell him that, you know what I mean? Smooth, they get the car keys off of Smooth. Um and they bounce. You know what I mean? They had been whooping on us for a minute though, like probably like a good 5 minutes. You know what I mean? And 5 minutes don't sound like a long time, but when you getting your ass whooped, you getting stomped out and shit. You know what I mean? 5 minutes is like a lifetime. You dig? So, you know, the whole time the boyfriend stomping me out, I got my hand in my face like this, and I'm laying face down. So, you know, they get the car keys and they did they get my wallet? They for sure got Smooth's wallet. I don't think they got my wallet for some reason. I don't remember what happened to why they didn't, but they didn't get my wallet. They got Smooth's wallet for sure. And because that's where the money was at. You know what I mean? They got Smooth's wallet. They got the money. You know what I mean? But when they bounced out the apartment after they got the car key from Smooth, they bounced out the apartment and I'm just laying there. You know what I mean? I'm playing like I'm knocked out. You dig? But the whole time, like I said, this is why I titled this video, I Should Have Died, because I thought they was finna dome us, you know what I mean? And maybe them niggas is just different, but I know if we was in California, me and Smooth wouldn't even be here right now, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk to y'all if that type of situation would have took place where I'm from, you know what I mean? Niggas would have domed us for sure. But for whatever reason, you know, I guess God was with us and they didn't go there. You dig? They just fucked us up real bad though. They fucked me up bad, but they fucked Smooth up real bad. You dig? So, like I said, I'm laying there playing dead. And mind you, the whole time, she ain't nowhere around and I can't hear her or nothing. So after them niggas had left, I'm laying there playing dead for a minute. And then she just come out of nowhere screaming like, oh my God, whoa, whoa, calling me baby and shit. Baby, get up. I'm so sorry. Ah. You know what I mean? All this, so she all frantic and shit, you know what I mean? So when she comes shaking on me, I get up and it's blood all over that motherfucker. They fucked us up. You know what I mean? I had a black eye. My lip was busted. My jaw was swollen. You know what I mean? They fucked me up real bad. You did, or the boyfriend did, because he just stomping me out for like 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Fucking me up. So like I said, I get up, I look around, it's blood on the walls, it's blood on the carpet, it's blood all over this motherfucker, right? Smooth is laying face down like I was. You dig? But I'm thinking he doing like me. I'm thinking he playing dead. You know what I mean? Like he playing like they knocked him out. So I go over and shake his shoulder. I'm like, my nigga, get up, man. They gone. Let's go. And Smooth ain't moving. You dig? So I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? This nigga knocked the fuck out. At the time, I'm a lot smaller than I am right now. I ain't working out or doing none of that shit. You know what I mean? I'm probably like about 170 pounds. And Smooth was like 210 pounds at the time. You know what I mean? He kind of like stocky and shit. You know what I mean? So that nigga was heavy as a motherfucker. And mind you, I'm pretty sure I had a concussion or some shit like that. I'm beat the fuck up and I gotta pick this 210-pound nigga up and carry him downstairs, down a flight of stairs. You dig? So I'm in pain like a motherfucker, but you know, when it's like a crisis situation, a motherfucker forget about all that shit. You dig? So I wasn't even tripping on none of that. So I tell the bitch, I'm like, where your car keys at? Give me your keys. And the bitch, you know, she go get her keys. She hand me the car keys, and I carry Smooth downstairs, put him in her car, take him to the hospital, right? So I take Smooth to the hospital. I leave him there. I just dropped him off at the emergency and bounced. And I went straight to Detroit to my nigga D's crib, right? And he had been blowing my phone up, but I don't even think I think they took our phones and shit. You know what I mean? We ended up getting the shit back later, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. But so I get to D's crib. He like, my nigga, I've been blowing you up. My nigga, what happened? What's up? He see me all beat up and shit. He's like, damn, nigga, what happened? Tell him everything that happened and everything. And he hot, you know what I mean? So the next day, I drive down to Toledo to the hospital to go see Smooth, right? Now, y'all seen the pictures of Kanye when he had that car accident? You know what I mean? For those of y'all who ain't seen that picture, when Kanye had his car accident back in the day, when he made Through the Wire and all that shit, he got pictures of himself in that Through the Wire video. His face was all swollen. He wasn't even recognizable. That's exact. When I say exactly, that's exactly how the nigga Smooth looked. He looked exactly how Kanye looked with his face all swollen and shit. You know what I mean? Man, I ain't gonna even lie to you. I shed a tear over that shit, you know what I mean? Because I thought my nigga wasn't never gonna be the same again. You know, but when I come into the hospital, they was feeding him and shit, right? They had just woke him up to feed him. And my nigga look at me, he like, what's up, Freeze? And I'm like, what's up, man? He started rubbing his face. Like, mind you, he talking and moving real slow. Like how Muhammad Ali was with the Parkinson's, that's how he moving and talking, right? So he like, what's up, Freeze? And you know, they feeding him and shit. And he like rubbing his jaw and shit, you know what I mean? He doing like this. And I'm like, oh, them niggas got you real good in the jaw, huh? And I swear to you, my nigga was like, man, what happened to me, man? What happened to us? He like, why your face look like that? Because I'm beat the fuck up. I got black eyes, lip busted, some more shit, right? Nose busted. I'm fucked up. So he like, damn, my nigga, why you look like that? Like, why my jaw? What happened to us, man? What happened? This nigga didn't even remember what happened. You know what I mean? And like I said, I held it together because I didn't want him to see me break down. But after I left, I shed a tear because I thought my nigga was never gonna be the same again. You know what I mean? Thank God he ended up being back normal again. But for like some weeks, he was like that. He was fucked up. You know what I mean? So when he said that shit, it took everything in me not to break down right there. I'm like, wait a minute, my nigga, you don't remember what happened? And it was a trip because he tried to act like he remembered, but I knew he didn't remember. You know what I mean? Because when he was like, what happened to your face? What happened? Like, why my jaw hurt? I'm like, my nigga, you don't remember what happened last night? And then he sat there for a minute and he was like, oh, yeah. But I knew for sure that nigga didn't remember nothing. You know what I mean? That nigga didn't remember nothing. So, you know, and before that, you know, I had talked to the nurses before they woke him up. I'm like, you know, how's he doing? And they was like, well, he's doing a lot better now. He walked with the walker. The nigga had to use a walker at first to walk from his bed to the elevator. You know what I mean? But they was like, yeah, you know, he got up and he used the walker and he walked to the elevator and back to his bed. And I'm like, damn. Then he woke up and we had that little conversation. And I realized he didn't remember what happened the night before. So he stayed in the hospital, I believe, like another 2 days or something like that. Then I went to the hospital, got him, took him back to Detroit. And then I got on the phone with the boyfriend, you know what I mean? And at first he was talking all tough and shit. And then the homie D got on the phone And it was a trip because the homie D got on the phone with the boyfriend, right? And he started hollering certain names because he had family down there in Toledo. There was like some reputable niggas. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, nigga, you know such and you know such and such around there, nigga. Them my peoples, nigga. If you don't, because they had the rental car still. You know what I mean? Because like I said, they took the keys, but they left the car there. They didn't take the rental car, they just took the keys. So that's why I had to take her car, you know what I mean? So he got to my homie D, he got to telling niggas certain names down around there. And next thing you know, we had made arrangements and because they had Smooth's wallet too. And uh so they put Smooth's wallet, my cell phone, Smooth's cell phone inside the rental car, and they left the key right there with the rental. And they had left it somewhere like in a place that was like a neutral place, you know what I mean? And I went, everything was smooth, you know what I mean? I went and got the rental car, left her car there, you know what I mean? So she got her car back, I got the rental car back, went back to Detroit. So it was fucked up, man. My nigga Smooth, he was like, that's all he was talking about, you know what I mean? I could tell like slowly but surely his memory was coming back, but he was moving. He still was moving and talking slow to the motherfucker. It was crazy. Like, I remember we went through the drive-through at Wendy's because we was eating Wendy's all the damn time. That's how you know this shit old. Freeze was still eating cheeseburgers and shit. But we had went to Wendy's and the nigga Smooth definitely couldn't open his mouth. I couldn't even open my mouth wide enough to eat a cheeseburger. You dig? I'm trying to my mouth won't even open all the way, you dig? So that's how fucked up I was. And Smooth was worse than me. So he really couldn't eat like, he had to eat like, I think mashed potatoes and shit like that for like a good week. You know what I mean? So so yeah, so we continue getting money and shit like that, you know what I mean? We staying with D now at his crib. And um so we doing our thing, you know what I mean? But Smooth still fucked up. Smooth, and it's crazy because the homie D used to laugh at the nigga like and kind of like make fun with him, like try to I guess like lift his spirits or whatever. Cause the nigga Smooth, he'll be walking around the house, you know, throwing slow ass punches and shit like, get them niggas, man. You know, we can laugh about it now, but at the time it wasn't funny. You know what I mean? It wasn't funny to me. But the homie D, I know what he was doing. He was trying to like lift the nigga spirits and shit. But he Smooth be walking around the crib throwing slow ass punches all day, like, get them niggas, man. Get them niggas. I'm like, damn, this nigga fucked up. But D like, he like, nigga, you think you Muhammad Ali around here or something, man? You know, that went on for a little minute. So it was like a week or two later, Smooth still fucked up. You know what I mean? And he ain't showing no progress. I'm like, damn. You know, the swelling in his face went down and all that shit, but he's still moving and talking slow as a motherfucker. And I'm like, damn. So what I had planned to do and what I did, I put Smooth on a Greyhound and sent him to, because Smooth, he grew up in Long Beach, Cali, but he originally from Naptown, from Indianapolis, right? So he moved to Cali when he was a little boy, but you know, his pops was back living in Indianapolis and all of his family is there, you know what I mean? So I put Smooth on a Greyhound. So that way it would be, you know, real easy for his pops to, because I called, talked to his pops. You know, we made arrangements and everything. So his pops was right there as soon as he got off the bus because he still was fucked up. You know what I mean? So I made sure he got on the bus. Like I got on the bus with him, made sure he was straight on the bus. You know what I mean? Then I let him go on. You know what I mean? His pops was right there as soon as he got off the bus. You know what I mean? So he went was staying with his pops. And my plan was to go to New York. You dig? At this point in time, I done switched. I ain't got the Buick rental car no more. I got the Sebring, the convertible Sebring at the time, right? So I make plans after I put Smooth on the bus. I'm gonna drive to New York in the rental, right? So I'm on the Ohio Turnpike. You dig? I leave Detroit. I make it to a little bit past Cleveland in Akron. You know what I mean? I make it a little bit past there. And those of y'all familiar with that area, it's a little bitty town. The county is called Portage County. And the little bitty town that I was in was called Ravenna, Ohio. And I'll never forget, I was doing like I had the car on cruise control, top down, you know what I mean? I'm cruising, got the music playing. You dig? I'm on my way to New York. I'm thinking everything is all good. So I was doing like 78 in a 65, you know what I mean? So I get pulled over, you know what I mean? Petty ass highway patrol, some African dude. The highway patrol was an African dude. You did. He pulled me over. Now, mind you, like I told y'all, the rental car situation was oh boy, he had left it in the last person's name and extended it on their credit card. So when he pulled me over, my license was suspended. You dig? I got a California driver. I'm looking all bad. I'm in Ohio with a California driver license. The rental car got Kentucky plates on it. You know what I mean? So I'm looking all bad. So they called a rental car place and they tried to get in touch with the person whose name the car was in, who had the car before me. Because they was trying to get me for GTA, basically. You know what I mean? Driving on suspended license. They tried to hit me with the GTA, but they never was able to get in touch with the person whose name the car was in. So they just gave me what they hit me with unauthorized use of a vehicle, which is a misdemeanor. You dig? So unauthorized use of a vehicle, driving on a suspended license. They gave me 30 days for that, right? And in that little county, you got to do whatever it is that they sentence you to. If they sentence you to 100 days, you got to do exactly 100 days. So they sends me to 30 days. You dig? And I was going to do exactly 30 days, but it was a trip. Me and this dude, he was from Detroit, the homie Dwayne, you know what I mean? I got cool with him in the jail, you dig? Everybody in that motherfucker, it was like the Twilight Zone. And that's the thing too, you know what I mean? The highway patrol that pulled me over with his punk ass, he was bragging about all the different celebrities that he done pulled over and shit. He like, yeah, I done pulled over Snoop Dogg out here before. I done pulled over Louis Farrakhan out here before. And he just, I think The Rock, you know what I mean? He naming all these different, and I'm like, well, in my mind, I'm just listening to him, but in my mind, I'm like, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck about this shit. You know what I mean? You think I'm finna ask you for an autograph or something because you done pulled over some celebrities? You need to let me the fuck go. You know, that's what's on my mind, getting the fuck out this situation. But anyway, so I go to the jail. They sentence me to 30 days. I get cool with the homie Dwayne. He had 30 days as well. And it was a trip because I think we got arrested on the same day. We both got 30 days and we were supposed to get out the same day. But we both filed for early release. You know what I mean? And we both we ended up getting out the same day. And we did 15 days, you know what I mean? And it was a trip because I had came to the judge with like a little story, you know what I mean? I'm like, you know, I'm an up and coming rapper. I got this career going on. I got some shows lined up, you know what I mean? I got a big record contract on the line. Woo, 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 woo. So the judge, she granted me the early release. And as she was giving it to me, she was like, I'm gonna give you the early release on one condition, that you when you make it big, you come back and give me your autograph. That's how small this motherfucking town was, you know what I mean? So I'm like, you got that, you know what I mean? When I make it big, I'm gonna come back and give you an autograph. In my mind, I'm like, bitch, I ain't giving you shit. Let me the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? But I told her that I would, you know, they end up, you know, letting me go after 15 days. So when I get out of jail, like I said, I done did 15 days. So at this point in time, it's about a month after. It's about a month after. It's like kind of like middle of September. So it's about a month after the whole me and Smooth getting fucked up in Ohio shit. You dig? So when I get out of jail, I catch the Greyhound. I catch the bus to Indianapolis. You know what I mean? And Smooth was like back to normal by that time. You dig? But his jaw was crooked, and we didn't find out until we went to New York that his motherfucking jaw had been broken. You dig? But anyway, so I make it back. I make it to Indianapolis. Me and Smooth staying at his dad's house for like some days or whatever. We get the hustle back cracking. We get a few little dollars, and we end up catching a bus to New York. You dig? And we end up doing our thing in New York. But I'll say that motherfucking story for another day. You dig? So yeah, that's pretty much my whole Ohio story. You know what I mean? About when I should have really been killed in Ohio. You dig? Let me read some of y'all's comments. I ain't been keeping up. Hold on. Ken said that was a great story. Good looking, Ken. Brian H., you said you're in Cleveland right now, so you probably know where Ravenna is, right? It's like a little east of Ravenna is a little east of Cleveland. I want to say maybe an hour. I don't even think it's an hour away from Cleveland though. But it's like in the middle of nowhere though. It ain't shit out there. It's like a little country type area. I know it's in between Cleveland and Youngstown, but it's closer to Cleveland though. Kool-Aid Man said, did Smooth ever get back right? Yeah, Smooth. Like I said, when I got out of jail and I caught the bus to Indianapolis, by that time, Smooth was back to normal. He was moving, talking, thinking. You know what I mean? He was back to his normal self. Mentally, physically, he was moving around. Everything was cool. But like I said, when we went to New York, he was having a toothache. You dig? And he went to the dentist in New York, and they ran an X-ray on him, and they let him know that they even showed us the X-ray because I was there. They showed him the X-ray, and his motherfucking jaw, like right here, was separated. This shit was broke. You know what I mean? The X-ray, it was completely separated. And but it was starting to heal back. You dig? So he couldn't really go to the doctor and just like, get it wired or no shit like that because it had already started healing back. It wasn't all the way healed, but it had started healing back. So even the dentist was letting us know, and then later on he went to the doctor. They let him know that basically they would have to break his jaw in order to get his jaw back right. They would have to break it again and then wire it, the correct way in order for his jaw to be straight. So, but he never went and got it done. So even still to this day, Smooth can't close his mouth all the way. You dig? Like he can't bite his front teeth down all the way. You know what I mean? He can only close his mouth maybe to about like right there. He can't do this with his teeth. You dig? So but other than that, you know what I mean? Mentally, he sharp as a motherfucker. Smooth is a highly intelligent motherfucker, by the way. You dig? So he back to normal as far as all of that go. But yeah. Yeah, Boss Nuts say Ravenna is by Streetsboro and Kent. I remember the name Streetsboro. That sounds familiar. Kent, I don't really remember where that is, but I remember the name Streetsboro though. Jay Shaw say, thank God you still alive, bro. Yeah, because I thought it was over that night. You know what I mean? And like I said, it was just a blessing that things played out the way it did, because I think a lot of different other motherfuckers would have probably ended it for us. You know what I mean? Oh, that was another thing I left out the story, right? So D had some crazy homeboys, right? And he had a homeboy named Casket Face, right? Shout out to Casket Face from Detroit. Cool ass nigga, but he was crazy than a motherfucker, you know what I mean? And they called him Casket Face because he had got shot 14 times and lived. You know what I mean? So basically he should have been dead, but you know, God spared him. So that's why they called him casket face, because the nigga should have been in the casket after he got shot 14 times. But strong ass nigga though, you know what I mean? But the nigga was crazy as a motherfucker. Like one time we was kicking it and we was just chopping it up, right? And we was talking about different scenarios and shit. Talking about, you know, regular hood shit, shootouts, you know what I mean? Getting shot, shooting at niggas. We talking about shit like that, right? So the nigga casket face, this nigga was like, yeah, man. Uh, you know what I really love to do, man? You know, I like catching niggas slipping, man, but like, you know, niggas in their backyard and they with their family and everybody chilling and barbecuing, you know what I mean? Then you just hop over the fence and just start lighting everybody up. My nigga, I love doing that shit, nigga. That's my favorite shit to do. And we always look at, like, when he was telling us this shit, we just looking at the nigga like, this nigga is really a lunatic, you know what I mean? But cool ass nigga though, you know what I mean? But definitely not nobody that you want to cross though. You know what I mean? That nigga is definitely nobody to cross. He said, what happened to Big D coming in 20 minutes? Well, we didn't have no communication with D because, like I said, them niggas, after they jumped us, they took our phones and shit. You know what I mean? So, oh, that's another thing that I left out too. I'm tripping. I'm leaving good, vital parts of the story out. So, when I get out of jail and I go to Indianapolis, I talk to D on the phone, right? And and he was like letting me know, he like, yeah, you know, we you know, we went and sent them a message, you know what I mean? And you know, they definitely got some act right. But what happened was A and her boyfriend, you know what I mean, was in her car sitting at a red light in Toledo. They in her car, and somebody lit that motherfucking car up. You know what I mean? And God was with them. You did, because fortunately they, you know, they ended up making it through that situation unscathed. But yeah, she was sitting in the car with the boyfriend, and you know, they got showered upon. They got rained on one time. You did. Motherfuckers made it rain on their ass, but uh they ended up making it out that situation. That happened while I was in jail. So yeah. But so D didn't he didn't, you know, get to come right then and there at that time, but he definitely had love for me, you know what I mean? Cause that happened. You dig? So yeah, I had love for D, but you know, I still got love for D. He did some little, you know, some, you know, hood nigga shit. You know, niggas ain't shit, you know what I mean? So he ended up doing some shit and we ended up falling off. But as far as the business go, you know, because after I got out of jail, we made it to New York. Me and D started getting money again together. Even though I was in New York, he was in Detroit, but we started getting money again together. But he had like did some little snake shit. You know what I mean? I don't know if he needed it, he was going through something. I don't know. But he ended up doing some little snake shit, and I stopped dealing with him after that. But you know, that shit been so long ago. Ain't no love lost. Shout out to D if he ever see this shit. You know what I mean? Jubriel say I should write a movie. I should. There's so many movies that I could write. That's one of them. You know, I be thinking about like shit like Donald Goins. I still to this day haven't read a Donald Goins book. Never, not one time. But everybody rants and raves about them, so they must be good. But I'm pretty sure that if I sat down, I could probably, you know, write some shit that would rival or outdo Donald Goins. You did. Dumping Crazy said, "What was y'all hustle freeze?" I didn't catch that part. We basically we had some shit going on with Sprint where we would get Sprint accounts and use them Sprint accounts to order mass quantities of Sprint cell phones. You dig? I talked about it in my other live video that I did some months back called My Life Before the Game. On the thumbnail, it's a picture of me at the on the subway platform in Manhattan. I got an LBC t-shirt on the thumbnail. But yeah, that's in that video. I go into more details about the hustle that me and Smooth had going on at that time. You dig? So Spring Wonder say I read 8 of his novels. Yeah, I know they must be good because I ain't never heard nobody say that Donald Goines' books wasn't good. You dig? You know, in the penitentiary, everybody loved his books. So when I was locked up, that's all I heard about. Donald Goines, Donald Goines, Donald Goines, Donald Goines. Everybody in the penitentiary loved his books. Kendo say, so you never seen her again? Right? No, I haven't seen her again, but like I said, we went to high school together, you know what I mean? So on Facebook, we got a lot of mutual friends. So and then plus she know my name. So she ended up finding me on Facebook, and you know, she ended up reaching out to me a few times, apologizing and all that shit. But I ain't, you know, at this point in time, I ain't really mad at her. I was mad at her for a lot of years, you know what I mean? But at this point in time, I'm not mad at her, but at the same time, I'll never have nothing to do with her. You dig? She got in my inbox on Facebook talking about how she a changed woman and, you know, she living for God now and all this old shit. And that might be true, you know what I mean? But I don't want nothing to do with you. You dig? That's betrayal. I can't be cool with somebody that betray me. You dig? Somebody make a mistake, do some wrong shit or something, you know what I mean? I can forgive that. But one thing I can't forgive is betrayal. She betrayed me, so it's over with as far as us being cool ever again. Unless I come to God and God put something different on my heart and mind. But at this point in time, no chance. Yeah, Tony, like you say, charge it to the game. That's what I did. You know what I mean? Win some, lose some. I done won a whole lot of them. I done lost a lot of them too, but I done did more winning than I done did losing. So I ain't mad. You did. Pimp is not mad about it. Richard Price say, how much you made, pimping? Are you talking about with that hustle? See, it was a news article about us as far as that hustle go. The Press Telegram in Long Beach had made an article about us, and they were saying that I forget how much they said we made. I know that we made more than what they said though. But they said over a 2-year period we had made. I forget how much they said we made, but just guesstimating though, and I'm not saying that we pocketed this, but between what we pocketed and what we paid other people, you know what I mean? Because we was paying somebody at Sprint to give us accounts. We was paying people to sell phones for us. You know what I mean? We was selling phones ourselves. Between all of that, over because we was getting down for like 2.5 years. Over a 2.5-year period, I say we probably made like a few million. You know what I mean? But like I said, a lot of that was paid out. A lot of that was like overhead and shit like that. But between all the overhead and between the three of us, because it was 3 of us running the shit, Stacy, Smooth, and myself, we probably made like a few million over a few years period. You know what I mean? Over 2.5 years, somewhere in there, probably like close to 3 million. I'm just putting shit together in my head because I remember thinking that at that time. These is the numbers that I had in my head at that time. A lot of shit I can't really remember as far as details because it's been so long ago. But I remember having it in my mind back then that at that period of time, we had probably made like a few $1,000,000. So it sounds like a lot, but really, like when you in the midst of that shit, it ain't really a lot when you paying, because we had a whole bunch of motherfuckers that was working for us that we was paying. Um, you know what I mean? We was making money ourselves, and then it's three of us, you know what I mean? So just think like, let's just say that we had made 3 million, you know what I mean, between, which we didn't, you know what I mean, for just us. But let's just say we had, profited 3 million ourselves. Between three of us, that's 1 million apiece, you know what I mean, over a 2.5 year period. If you just a young nigga, splurging, hitting people off with money, looking out for motherfuckers, family members and shit like that, taking losses, you know what I mean? I remember one time me and Smooth, uh, we had went shopping. It was Christmas time, you know what I mean? And we had a car full of shit, you know what I mean? And we pulled up to the Lakewood Mall. Lakewood Mall was packed. Parking lot was packed. We had to park far as a motherfucker, way in the back of the parking lot, you know what I mean? Because that's how packed the mall was. And we had a whole bunch of shit in the car. We had some phones in there, you know what I mean, that we was gonna sell. And we had a bunch of clothes. We had a whole bunch of shit. And we went in the mall and was buying some more shit and came back to the car. All that shit was gone. Somebody had broke into the car, took all that shit. You know what I mean? That's just one example of a loss. So, like, between taking losses and paying people and all that shit, like, it sounds like a lot of money, but over a few years of paying people, taking loss, we didn't take no whole bunch of losses, but we took some losses, you know what I mean? So if you just factor in real life situations, it ain't really a whole lot. You know what I mean? I say between like each of us, first of all, Smooth and myself, we seen more money because it was a point in time, like I said, where Stacy, he stopped fucking with us on the hustle, and it was just me and Smooth. So Smooth and I made more money. And then, matter of fact, I probably made the most because it was a short period of time where Smooth wasn't getting down, and I was the only one. So out of all of us, I probably made the most money. But I know for sure I made some hundreds of thousands, you know what I mean? But over a few years period, it sounds like a lot, but it ain't really a lot. You dig? But Kendo say, how do you develop an abundance mindset like you gentlemen of leisure got? Um, as far as that abundance mindset, it's different degrees of that. Some people have different ideas of what that is. Um, and I think a lot of it has to do with your experiences and how that affects your ambition. You dig? What it all boils down to ambition. How a person is driven by their ambition is kind of like it kind of really depends. It's kind of specific to the individual. You dig? Everybody's different the way I see it. Even within the pimp, like everybody don't, you know, you got certain pimps that think like with the pimping, right? You got certain pimps that might be living, like they might be hotel living. You dig? So they staying in and out of hotels for a year or two at a time, but they got a cool vehicle. You know what I mean? They might have a nice foreign and some thousands in their pocket and some nice jewelry and some nice designer clothes. And they think that's abundance. In their mind, they balling, you know what I mean? In their mind, they doing it big. But in the grand scheme of things, it's like you hotel living and you might have some thousands in your pocket. The designer and the jewelry look good, and you might have some thousands in your pocket right now. But if you catch a case, them thousands gonna be gone, and you're gonna need some more thousands for bail money, a lawyer, some more shit. You know what I mean? So in the grand scheme of things, it ain't really nothing major, that situation. But you got a lot of cats in that situation that just like feel like they doing it so big. Then you got other cats who might be in that situation, but they thinking about something way greater than that. You know what I mean? They ambition is far greater than that. They like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm staying in this hotel right now. I got some thousands, you know what I mean? But I ain't finna buy this jewelry right now because I'm trying to get a house. Or you know what I mean? I got a cool car right now. I could upgrade and get me a nicer car, but you know what? I'm gonna hold off and you know, put some money to the side for a lawyer just in case something happened, you know what I mean? Put some money to the side for bail, you know what I mean? Just in case something happened. You did. So notice how I broke down two different individuals who might have a same status financially, but their mindsets is totally different. You did. One of them, he want to get high all the time. He want to buy all this jewelry and designer and all that type of shit. And he might look like he's doing better than the other motherfucker who ain't as flashy. But the other motherfucker who ain't as flashy, you dig, his mind is on bigger and better things. So, yeah. Hug 46 says, how you feel about these YouTube pickup artists? You know, I ain't never been a pickup artist. You dig? So I'm not one to knock what they do. You know, if it works for them and it must be some type of effectiveness to it because a lot of people believe in some of them dudes. You know what I mean? Some of them dudes is real popular and they got a lot of people that follow them and believe in what they say. And I would imagine that some people use some of their methods that they teach and it works for them. You dig? So teach their own, you know, for the pickup artists, if it works for them, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I'm the I'm the pimping. Who am I to criticize somebody or judge somebody? You know what I mean? I deal with criticism and judgment all the motherfucking time. I'm seen as the worst of the worst. So I would look crazy to sit here and be like, oh, them pickup artists, they ain't shit. That shit don't work. Woo, woo. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't have an interest in that type of thing. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and condemn it. You know what I mean? If it works for them, then it's all good. You did good for them. Tony Davis say, but the pimping is way better though. You dig? Brian Robinson says, thank you for all the game you dropped since you've been on YouTube, P. You saved my life on God. You said not to worry about nothing, and not worrying kept me alive in another place. I owe you one, P. Man, I appreciate that, Brian. But you don't really owe me nothing, man. Like I say all the time, pay it forward. You dig? Uh, I think I might have told y'all about this story, man. Should I say that shit? I done told so many damn stories. I might have told y'all about this already, but I had already had a concept of paying it forward, you know what I mean? But this is what really, really made it sink in and really made me internalize paying it forward, you know what I mean? And having the mindset of like when you do something for somebody, don't really expect nothing in return, you know what I mean? Just do it out the kindness of your heart cuz see, you kind of like bind yourself to some bullshit when you do something for somebody and you expecting something in return. You know what I mean? You kind of you putting yourself in bondage in a way mentally, you know what I mean? And even spiritually, emotionally, all that shit you did because people gonna let you down. You know what I mean? I let people down. We all let somebody down at some point in time. You know what I mean? We can't always live up to somebody's expectations. So if you give somebody something or you do something for somebody and you expecting something in return, you know what I mean? It ain't gonna always work out your way. You dig? So the best thing to do is like when you do something for somebody, don't even trip. You know what I mean? You're gonna get blessed regardless. But like I said, as far as the pay it forward thing, what really made that sink in my mind, right? Um, my baby mama was pregnant with my daughter at the time, and this was so fresh. Uh, this was before we even knew that she was pregnant, right? But right after she got pregnant, she went to jail, and she was in jail for some days. You know what I mean? And we was in Vegas, and anybody who was in Vegas in December of 2008, you know, it snowed like a motherfucker that year in December. Vegas had like, you know, to people that's from places that snow all the time, it don't sound like shit. But Vegas was like in a frenzy. You know what I mean? They had like 4 inches of snow, and that was just like too much. You know what I mean? I think it was 4 inches, but it snowed in Vegas, and it was fucked up. Like if you was there, you had to stay there. You couldn't leave. And if you was trying to come in, you couldn't come in. Like the airport was shut down, the highways was shut down. So it wasn't no coming in and out of Vegas. If you was there, you had to stay there during the time when it was snowing, right? But anyway, during this time, my baby mama go to jail, right? And when she got arrested, you know what I mean? I didn't really have no money. And she had her son was like 2 months old at the time, you dig? And so when she go to jail, I got her son. You know what I mean? He with me, but you know, I'm holding him down. And like I said, I was fucked up kind of financially though, and I was staying with some of my veteran pimp partners, and I get into it with them. You know what I mean? So I leave with the baby, and my homeboy YT, rest in peace. Before I left, I called YT, and I say, yo, man, I need somewhere to stay. I got this broad's baby with me, man. He a little bitty baby, man. I'm out here fucked up. I need somewhere just to lay my head just for tonight. You know what I mean? Till I figure it out. Jay Shaw, good looking, much appreciated. Your teachings on self-discipline, mastery, I value. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you get something from it, man. So yeah, so YT, he like, well, it's a full house over here, P. You know what I mean? It's kind of tight, you know. Y'all might have to sleep on the floor or something, but if you don't mind sleeping on the floor, you come through. So I'm like, cool. And I'll never forget, my old school partner, T Mac, who I was staying with, he stayed on Valley View and Twain, and YT stayed in Northtown. So I had $27. And I jumped in a cab with the baby, and I tell the cab driver, I said, take me to Northtown, as far as $27 will get me. So I can't remember where the intersection where he had dropped me off at, but once we made it as far as $27 will get me, he dropped us off at a Rebel gas station right there on the corner, right? So we right there, we go inside the Rebel, and because like I said, it's cold as a motherfucker. It's snowing outside and shit. So I'm just inside the Rebel with the baby, right? And he normally a cool baby. He don't really cry a lot unless he hungry or he need his diaper changed. So he start crying. In this case, he hungry. You know what I mean? So I got his formula, and mind you, it ain't nowhere for us to sit down in there or nothing like that. So I'm holding him, and I'm trying to make a bottle for him while I'm holding him. Right? He crying and shit. So it was one motherfucking scoop of formula left, and I'm trying to put this shit together. And in the midst of me holding him and trying to make the bottle, I dropped the shit on the ground. You know what I mean? The last bottle of formula, I dropped the motherfucking powder on the ground. You know what I mean? So now he ain't got nothing to eat. You know what I mean? So now he hollering. I'm trying to keep him calm and shit. I'm like, damn, man, this shit fucked up. I ain't got no money. I can't feed him. YT ain't answering the phone, you know what I mean? And he like the address to where I had to get to him was like another 2 miles away. You know what I mean? Now, if it wasn't so cold outside, I probably would have tried to hike it over there, you know what I mean? But it's cold. I got this baby with me. That's another thing. If I was by myself, I wouldn't have had no problem hiking it. But I got this baby. I can't be in the cold with this baby. So I'm in the motherfucking gas station. I'm like, damn, I done dropped this bottle. I can't feed him. I ain't got no money. So we had been in there for like an hour, right? Now the whole time it was this older white lady, probably in her 50s. She was sitting at the slot machine because you know all the gas stations in Vegas got slot machines. So she's sitting at the slot machine playing the slots. She was there before we was there. So the whole time we was in there, like she was there. She seen me drop the formula on the ground and all that type of shit. She seen all that, you know what I mean? But she kept playing her slots and everything. So after we had been there for like an hour, she finally got up from the slot machine and she was like, oh, and that was another thing too. While we was there, I had talked to my sister in California. My sister put $70 on the Western Union. So now I just got to get to a Western Union, pick up the $70. You know what I mean? My plan was to go downtown to the Gold Spike. You know what I mean? Anybody familiar with the Gold Spike? They know the rooms back then. This is like 2008. At that time, the rooms like $26 a night. You know what I mean? So that little $70 is enough to get a room for me and the baby and get him something to eat and for us to be straight for the night. You know what I mean? So, oh girl, but I ain't got no way to get to the Western Union. You know what I mean? And we far as a motherfucker from downtown, but this is what I had in my mind, right? So the lady, she get up and she like, come on with me. I'm gonna take y'all wherever y'all need to go. And I'm like, you sure? She like, yeah, boy, come on. You know what I mean? She jumped in mama mode, you know what I mean? She's like, come on, I'm taking y'all wherever y'all need to go. So we jump in the car with her and she pull up at Walmart and she like, y'all stay here, I'll be right back. So I stay in the car with the baby. She go up in Walmart, she come back out, she got diapers, she got motherfucking formula bottles. She bought too much shit, you know what I mean? She went in there and she probably spent like a good at least $50 in there, you know, and probably more than that. But she come out with diapers, formula, bottles, all type pacifiers, all kind of little shit, you know what I mean? So I'm like, damn. So then and I had already explained to her, you know, that I had some money waiting on me at Western Union. So she knew I was gonna have some money. But when she took us to the Gold Spike, which at that time they had a Western Union inside the Gold Spike. So all I needed to do was get there, you know what I mean? Get the money, pay for the room, I'm straight. So she take us to the Gold Spike and she give me $100 cash, you know what I mean? And I was like, you sure? She's like, here, just take the money. You good. Don't worry about it. And I was like, well, let me get your number, you know, so that when I get on my feet, you know, I could pay you back. And she was like, nah, I ain't gonna give you my number, but don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Just when you get on your feet and you see somebody else in need, just pay it forward. You know what I mean? Just return the favor to them. You know, don't worry about me though. I'm straight. So that's where I got that mentality. Like I said, I already had that concept in my mind, but that's where it really sank in and I internalized paying it forward. So that's why I like from that experience there, I ain't got no problem looking out for people, you know, out the kindness of my heart, you know what I mean? And not expecting something back, you know, because I was a total stranger to that lady, you know what I mean? She didn't have to do none of that. But the fact that she did that for a total stranger and didn't expect nothing in return, that's where, you know, I really, like I said, I internalized it from that point. So that's why, like, when people tell me they owe me one, nah, you don't owe me nothing. You know what I mean? Just when you get the opportunity to bless somebody down the line, you know what I mean? That's how you return the favor. You dig? So yeah, like Devin Lewis say, man, it's 180 people in here right now and 77 likes, man. Go ahead and hit that like button one time for a pimp. You dig? Those of y'all that done already hit the like button, I appreciate y'all. You dig? But I'm gonna answer a few more questions and then I'm gonna end up wrapping it up, y'all. But I appreciate y'all. You dig? And if you have not yet, or if you just getting here, you know what I mean, and you didn't see the last love break, you know what I mean, go ahead and put some love in your body. You know what I mean? Put some of this H2O in there. You did. Water is beautiful. Trey Gray say, why a lot of P's act like they never been through those kind of struggles. You know, a lot of cats ain't really P's, first of all. You know what I mean? And obviously I know a whole bunch of P's. And every real, true, respectable P that I know done took losses, done been in fucked up situations. Every one of them, you know what I mean? Now you got certain cats who've been in the game for a while and they ain't really been through no fucked up situations in the game. You dig? But um a lot of cats haven't really pimped for real. A lot of cats are just on social media acting like it. You got cats like that. Then you got cats that done been through fucked up situations, but for whatever reason they embarrassed by that type of shit, which I don't understand why. Because like me, the way my mind works, I know I'm not determined by my circumstances. I'm not determined by my situations that I go through, good or bad. You know what I mean? When I got a whole bunch of money, that doesn't determine what kind of man I am. And when I have no money at all and I'm fucked up, neither does that determine what kind of man I am. I'm gonna stay the same man whether I got $1 or $1,000,000. But everybody don't have that type of mindset though. So like I said, some cats you got, they be embarrassed by the struggles that they done been through, and they don't like letting people know that type of shit. You dig? But the real pimps that I know that done been through shit, they ain't got no problem letting you know. You dig? But you do got cats like that though that act like they ain't never, like they just been balling their whole career. Like, yeah, man, I've been pimping 10 years and I've been making $1,000,000 a day every day, man. I ain't never, that'd be a bunch of bullshit. And a lot of cats be faking for social media because see, you know what? This is the thing about the pimping too in today's times, right? This is why a lot of cats don't like sharing their struggles. Because, and it's really their fault that bitches are this way. But in today's times, bitches don't really like fucking with a pimp when he down on his luck. Bitches don't really like choosing up with a pimp who ain't got nothing, even if she ain't got nothing. I can understand, if a bitch got some shit going on and she don't want to choose a pimp that ain't got nothing. Even though like the pimping is great no matter what, but from a bitch's perspective, I kind of can understand that. But the bottom line is most bitches don't want to fuck with a pimp who ain't got nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing materialistic is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Because a pimp always got a whole bunch of game and pimping with him. You know what I mean? Even when he ain't got no material things, no tools and jewels, you dig, or money. But bitches like choosing situations nowadays because there's so many cats that put good situations in their face and they don't really put no good pimping in their face. You dig? See, it used to be a time where bitches was more into the pimping than they was the situation that the pimping was in. They more so focused on the pimping in the situation. So bitches chose pimping. You dig? Because they like the game that the pimping had to give. They like the guidance and the structure and the stability that the pimping was able to provide. And it didn't really necessarily matter what the pimping situation was. You dig? It was more common back in the days for a hoe to choose a pimp that didn't have nothing, and then they start from the bottom together and build everything up. And before you know it, they living good than a motherfucker in a big ass house or multiple houses, multiple cars, money put up. You know what I mean? Just everything they want. But it's beyond just the pimping though. That's just the times that we live in. Everything is glamorized because you can pretend so well on social media. It ain't just exclusive to the pimping. Squares do the shit too. You know what I mean? We in the era of fronting. Everybody wants to front, even these rappers. You know what I mean? These rappers like, living beyond their means and making it look like they doing it real big when they not, you know what I mean? And that's just the times that we in, man. nobody really like showing their scars. Nobody really like exposing they struggles and shit like that. It's just the time to front, you know what I mean? So that's just what everybody do beyond just the pimping, you know what I mean? But when it comes to the pimping, like I said, a lot of dudes don't like talking about their struggles because they know bitches, they get turned off by that type of shit. So, but in my mind, if a bitch get turned off by that type of shit, she ain't worth having no way. So, you dig? Brian Robinson say, "This is my first live chat. Before you dip, if it's one piece of game that you can give to a dude, excuse me, just getting his feet wet in the game, what would you say is the best piece of game that you can give?" C. Douglas, I appreciate you. Struggle shapes a man's character. Respect, Freeze. Dig that. Absolutely. I appreciate you. Um, but Brian, the best thing I could tell you, man, is again, this is something that transcends all walks of life beyond just the game. But even within the game, though, you just want to be a man. And what's really going to distinguish you and make you exceptional is moving with integrity, man. Just be an integral individual in whatever it is that you do, whatever situation you're going through, whether it's good or bad, whoever you're dealing with at the time. Just have integrity at all times, man, because that's one thing that's real scarce in today's times, and especially in the game, is just integrity, man. Because again, like I said, we in the era of fronting. Everybody just want to front with everything. So when fronting is your thing, you don't have to have integrity. You know what I mean? Because you could just make it seem like something that it ain't. You know what I mean? And when you got integrity about yourself, you're not really being dictated by whatever the situation is. You just gonna do what's right no matter what. You know what I mean? And you're gonna be true to yourself and what you stand for no matter what. So that's really what it is, man. Just be true to yourself as a man, as the pimping or whatever it is that you about. You know what I mean? Just be true to it and be true to yourself. You know what I mean? Because all these motherfuckers that be fronting, they might make it look good to everybody else, but at the end of the day, they got to look at themselves in the mirror and know that they, not what they portraying themselves to be. You dig? And me, I just like people seeing me for what I am and who I am. You know what I mean? Because I don't really trip about when I'm going through something and what people think about it and all that other type of shit. Like I don't allow that to dictate who I am. So that's the best thing I could tell you, man. Just stay in tune with integrity. Just always operate with integrity, man. Dig that. Much respect. Boss game, ball man. You must be just getting here, man. You must have missed the whole story. You said you ever been to Detroit, P? This whole live I've been talking about being in Detroit, man. You must have just got here. Yeah, this was a good one though. We had a good one today, man. But yeah, and it's funny, I haven't been to Detroit since then, man. But I like Detroit though. Detroit got some cool people. You know what I mean? They got some grimy motherfuckers too, but just like anywhere else, you know what I mean? But I like Detroit though. I just ain't been in a long time, a very long time. But I like it out there though. Richard Price say, what part? I was on the west side, man. I was mainly fucking around on Plymouth and Archdale on the west side. I didn't really go through the east side too much. You know what I mean? When I was out there, I was mainly kicking it on the west side. What part of Ohio were you at? I was mainly in Toledo. The whole story that I was talking about here, most of it took place in Toledo and Detroit. Can't say, could somebody explain what a Michigan left is? A Michigan left, that's what they call it out there, Michigan left, but it's basically certain intersections and other places have it too, but that's just what people out there call it. They call it a Michigan left, or at least back then they did. I don't know if they still do, but basically what it is like out there when you come to a like you know how when you come to an intersection and you want to make a left and you got to wait for the left you got to wait for the left light to turn green so you can make that left. Well, in those kind of intersections, it's not set up like that. They call it a Michigan left because you got to go past the intersection and then do a U-turn and make a right. You know what I mean? So if you come to the intersection and you want to go left, you can't just go left. You got to go past the intersection, do a U-turn, come back down, and then make a right. So that's what that is. Yeah, 419, man. Yeah, I was out there fucking around. I had some fucked up experiences out there, but Toledo is cool, man. I didn't really do too much in Toledo though. Like the first time I went there, I was just laid up in the house fucking. You know what I mean? And then the second time I went there, I was just sleeping and showering there and getting on the highway and going to Detroit all the time. So I went through the mall one time. I went to the mall in Toledo one time and I I went to that university that they got out there. I forget what the university is called. But you from the West End? I don't even remember what part of town I was in. I just remember I can't remember the streets or none of that shit, man. Uh Damn. See, I don't really know my way around Toledo like that. Detroit, I know my way around a little bit better. You know what I mean? Because I was like, when I was in Detroit, I was hustling. So I was really in traffic, moving around, fucking with people, all that type of shit. In Toledo, I was like mostly in the house. You know what I mean? Might go get something to eat or some shit like that. You know what I mean? I didn't really do a lot of things in Toledo. So I don't really know my way around there like that. Meridian Panther says, I pass through Ohio from time to time. That Youngstown is wild. I ain't never been in Youngstown, but I always heard that though. I heard that it was like, it was a crazy place. It'd be going up out there. Kool-Aid Man say almost like New Jersey left. See, I've been through New Jersey, but I don't even know what the hell a New Jersey. That's my first time hearing about that. A New Jersey left. They got all these different kind of lefts. Michigan left. New Jersey left. Jay Stokes say Detroit is easy, is east and west and divided by Woodard. Yeah, see, a lot of cities is like that. That's just like Phoenix. You know what I mean? Phoenix, Arizona. Like Phoenix is real easy to learn your way around Phoenix because they got number streets. You know what I mean? But the west side of Phoenix is avenues like 7th Avenue, 19th Avenue, 27th Avenue, which is the Blade, you dig? But that's the west side. So the west side is the avenue. So if you in Phoenix, you hear somebody say, oh, I'm finna go to the avenues, they talking about going to the west side, you know what I mean? The east side is the streets, you know what I mean? Like 7th Street, uh 20th Street, 32nd Street, 40th Street, 44th Street. That's the east side. You know what I mean? So like Phoenix is easy as a motherfucker. Right, Brian H. Phoenix is a big square. It is. It's like it's easy as a motherfucker to learn. Like Phoenix, if somebody get lost in Phoenix, they just terrible with directions. You know what I mean? Because it's real easy to learn your way around. Like certain places is like harder to learn your way around. Like San Francisco, for instance. San Francisco ain't like it got all kind of twists and turns. Like San Francisco is like a I guess you could say like a real unconventional type of city as far as the way it's structured. So San Francisco is an easy place to get lost. You know what I mean? If you ain't really good around, if you don't really know your way around there, like Frisco, you could get lost real easy. It's another place that's like that that I'm trying to think of that I can't think of. That's like a confusing ass place. Uh, damn, it's something on. It's. I'm picturing the shit, but I can't remember what city is like that. But yeah, Detroit is easy to learn your way around. Like you said, it's just east and west, and you know what I mean. You got the miles, 7 mile, 8 mile, all that shit. You know what I mean. So Frisco is very windy. Yeah, that's real. And then Frisco, man. One thing about San Francisco that I like, see, if you a lazy motherfucker and you're not mobile in San Francisco, you ain't gonna like that motherfucker because it's a bunch of hills. Like Frisco got some hills. You know what I mean? And you know what's a trip? Like one thing I noticed about Frisco, it's not a lot of people out there with rims on their cars. You got some, but it ain't like other places. Like, you know what I mean? Like when you go to certain places, like all the niggas in the hood got rims on their shit. In Frisco, especially certain parts that you go to, a lot of people don't have rims on their car because your transmission gonna be fucked off. You know what I mean? Because the rims is heavy. You know what I mean? And you dealing with all them hills, you constantly putting wear and tear on your transmission going up and down them hills in Frisco. But if you're not mobile, like I said, and you a lazy motherfucker, you ain't gonna like it. But if you trying to get in shape and you ain't mobile, Frisco is a great place to be. You know what I mean? Because they got all the motherfucking hills and walking around like I purposely would walk around. Like just the last time I was there, I had a car, you know what I mean? But I walk most places instead of driving, you know what I mean? Because I like walking and that's how I like get my cardio in, you know what I mean? So uh most of the time when I was in Frisco, I was walking damn near everywhere, you know what I mean? So no, see, because Jubriel said everybody ain't rich. First of all, you ain't got to be rich to have rims on your car. But in San Francisco, first of all, it's an expensive ass place, so you got to have money to even live in that motherfucker. So I'm pretty sure a lot of the people there can afford rims. They just don't do it. I think just my theory, just my observation. It's not that they can't afford rims. It's just that you know what I mean? Having them rims, you're gonna fuck your transmission off probably like in a few months. Your transmission gonna be shot going all up and down them hills with the big ass rims. So Benjamin Watson say, have you ever been to Milwaukee? You know what's funny? First of all, I got a whole bunch of family in Milwaukee that I do not even know. I'm talking about a whole bunch of family. You know what I mean? I got a whole bunch of cousins out there that I ain't never met that I need to go get familiar with. You know what I mean? But my first time in Milwaukee was just last year, 2018, right after the Super Bowl, because I went to the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was in Minnesota. You know what I mean? I went there for the Super Bowl. And after the Super Bowl, my partner who had caravanned out there with me from Vegas, he from Milwaukee, you know what I mean? So we went to the mill and man, the snow was crazy out there. It was the snow was crazy in my fucking car. I had parallel parked on this street and uh my car got stuck, you know what I mean? because of the snow and shit. And it took like it took like damn near 2 hours to get my car out of that spot. You know what I mean? Because the snow was so fucked up. We was putting cardboard on the ground. We was shoveling snow out the way. We was doing all kind of shit. Me and my partner who I went, his homeboys, you know what I mean? We all they was helping me and shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's the only experience I got with Milwaukee, you know what I mean? I followed the homeboy there and he ended up staying and I ended up going to Chicago and then coming back west. But yeah, my car got stuck right there, man. It was fucked up. I thought I was gonna have to wait till the snow melted or some shit. You know what I mean? Because it was fucked up. But we finally got that shit up out of there though. But yeah, that's the only time I've ever been to Milwaukee. Hi, you say 100? You already know. Lee Simpson, yeah, that's who I was with. 100. I've driven through Mississippi, but I ain't never really spent time there. Only thing I did in Mississippi was pulled up to the gas station to get some gas and hollered at some bitches while I was there in Jackson. That's it. They was there getting gas. I was there getting gas. We talked for a minute and I kept it pushing. But I ain't never really kicked it in. I love Orlando. Kendo say, how about Orlando? I love Orlando. I was getting ready to move to Orlando, you know what I mean? But I was fighting a case at the time when I was out there. And I ended up getting put on probation, and that kind of took me away from that area. But uh, I love Orlando. Orlando's beautiful. I love it out there. Can't wait to go back. Born Supreme say, yo, Free, speaking of the Midwest, why do so many P's from out there relocate to the Southwest? Shit, because of the one of the main reasons is because of the motherfucking weather. Shit. If you ain't ever been in that Midwest in the wintertime, boy, shit, count your blessings because the winters in the Midwest be fucked up. They got the worst, especially like the further north you go. You know what I mean? Like up there in Minnesota, like Minnesota, of course, is the Midwest, but it's one of the it's one of the furthest points north. It's one of the furthest points north in the Midwest. You know what I mean? So it get cold as a motherfucker up there. That wind be crazy. Born Supreme, you from the 818? That's where I was born, man. I was born in Granada Hills Hospital. That motherfucker ain't there no more. They tore that shit down about 15 years ago. But yeah, that's where I was born, man. Born in the 818. My whole family from Pacoima. You know what I mean? But I moved to Long Beach when I was real young, though. Oh, you from Van Nuys? Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, I never stayed in Van Nuys, but when I was real little, I stayed in Pacoima. Yeah, I stayed in Packtown, man. I lived in the projects at first. You know what I mean? I stayed in the projects from the time I was born till I was about like 8 years old. Then oh, okay. Hold on. Fuck. But yeah, I stayed in the projects till I was about 8. Then moved to Panorama City, stayed there for a minute, and then ended up in Long Beach. What's up with it, Pimp?
What's going on, bitch?
Shit. Hold on.
It's crazy. I was just thinking about you, right?
Yeah, you tuned in, huh?
I'm just thinking about you, right?
Yeah.
Motherfucker being sick. My boyfriend, he just come in the room and shit. He's like, didn't you tell me your freezes, man?
Yeah. I was talking about when I was out there, my motherfucking car got stuck in that snow. We was trying to get that shit out. Boy, that shit was fucked up. It was cold as a motherfucker, too. That shit, man. Somebody in the comment section said, why so many peas from the Midwest be going to the Southwest? Shit, that motherfucking weather.
The motherfuckers like every time somebody say Milwaukee, I think about you. So no, motherfuckers talking about me. But I definitely was thinking about you earlier. Motherfuckers with this big trying to shake back. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You out there in that KC?
Just like, yeah,
Okay, I dig it.
yeah. My player probably say he appreciate the game as well.
Oh, tell him I said good looking. Good looking. Dig that.
Motherfucker, out there, you know what I'm saying? I'm having a cold dream about the game. You know what I'm saying? You know, with the keys to my Cadillac or so.
Dig that. Dig that.
Nah, I just want to send some blessings your way, man. I ain't forgot about you motherfuckers. Just a slow move, steady grooving.
Oh, I dig it. Same here. You know what I mean? I'm on the same shit, but yeah, I appreciate it, man. Blessed to you as well. Good looking, pimp. Yeah.
I'm gonna tap in. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna be at the same place at the same time here soon, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. Indeed. But yeah, I'll tap in with you in a minute.
All right, man.
All right, for sure. Yeah. That's how the game go. You dig? But yeah, that was my young partner that I just was talking about. You dig? Shit. Since I got the power to speak things into existence, you know what I mean? In a minute, Pimp gonna have 100 million, you know what I mean? 100 million just gonna call my line like, hey, you know what I mean? Come get me. Brian A. say, Freeze, what's the best city to campaign in during the winter months? I like Miami, man. I like Miami, and I like Waikiki, Honolulu, Hawaii. You know what I mean? Those are my favorite places to be in the wintertime because it's beautiful women everywhere and it's beautiful weather too. You know what I mean? Like right now, it's wintertime. I'm willing to bet that in Miami and in Hawaii, it's at least 75 degrees. Let me look and see. You know what I mean? Let me look and see. Oh, well, it's 68 in Miami right now, but it was 77 earlier today. But right now, it's 68 degrees in Miami. Let me see what it is at Waikiki. Yeah. If the phone will cooperate with it, yeah. Why is it telling me that? Let me just put Honolulu. Honolulu, what is it? Yeah, look, 72. So it's 72 degrees in Honolulu right now, and it's 68 degrees in Miami. You know what I mean? That's why those is my favorite places to be in the wintertime. Because like I said, it's beautiful women everywhere, and the weather is beautiful. You did. So Born Supreme says Waikiki, all chop chops. It's a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken, Hawaii has the biggest population of Japanese people outside of Japan, I believe. You know what I mean? And if it's not the biggest, it's definitely one of them. Like there's a whole lot of Japanese people in Hawaii. You know what I mean? And if you speak Japanese, you're at a great advantage in Hawaii. You know what I mean? You could really do your thing around there. Oh, Ken confirmed it. Yeah, he said that's true. Right. Yeah, they got the biggest population of Japanese people outside of Japan in Hawaii. You know what I mean? So yeah, they got a whole bunch of chop chops around there. Yeah. Gilbert, you say, so can you travel to Hawaii with felonies? If so, I'm about to get my passport today. See, Hawaii is it's it's a conglomerate of islands. You know what I mean? Hawaii is made up mainly of 7 islands, but nah, Hawaii is a state. You know what I mean? So if you like, if you in Texas going to Louisiana, that's the same thing as going from California to Hawaii. You know what I mean? Hawaii is a state. You can't drive there, but it's still a state, just like New York, Florida, anywhere else. So you don't need no passport to go there. So yeah, of course you can have felonies. You know what I mean? I got felonies. And I've been to Hawaii a few times, you know what I mean? So yeah. You know what I mean? You ain't even got to get your passport. All you got to do is pay for the ticket and go. You know what I mean? No passport needed. You dig? I didn't have no passport when I went there. So yeah. That's just like Puerto Rico, you know what I mean? Even though Puerto Rico is not a state, it's a territory. You know what I mean? But basically any US territory you could go to without a passport. You go to Puerto Rico without a passport. You go to Guam. That's another US territory. You go there without a passport. I mean, US Virgin Islands, they got the US Virgin Islands and the British Virgin Islands. Of course, the British Virgin Islands, you have to have a passport to go there. But the US Virgin Islands, you don't need no passport to go there. So yeah. You know what I mean? It's a lot of places you could go to US territories that you don't need a passport to go to. They're not states, but they're US territories, so you could go there. But yeah, y'all, I've been live for a good a little bit over 2.25 hours. Before I go, I'm gonna take me one more love break. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit that thumbs up for a pimp one time, and I greatly appreciate you. You did. But yeah, so that's the Ohio story, and I threw a few other little sprinkles of stories up in there at the same time. So we had us a good live tonight, man. As always, y'all always a good crowd. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the family tuning in. You know what I mean? I appreciate all the super chats. Those of y'all that contributed. I appreciate everybody who hit a thumbs up. I even appreciate the motherfuckers who hit a thumbs down if you did. You know what I mean? I appreciate your subscriptions, your shares, your comments, your questions, your feedback. You know what I mean? I appreciate the haters too. I didn't see a whole lot of trolls in here tonight. You know what I mean? I usually be having a whole bunch of motherfucking trolls in here, but I didn't see a whole bunch of them tonight. You know what I mean? I'm sure they was in there, but they wasn't just the trolls be coming in here gangbanging, set tripping, knocking shit over like, nigga, we hating tonight. The haters be coming in here deep, set tripping sometimes, you know what I mean? So, you know, I didn't see him really in abundance tonight. So, but, you know, I appreciate them as well. You know what I mean? I appreciate you all subscribing. Those of you who did, I appreciate you hitting the bell when you subscribe. You dig. And I appreciate you for putting some love in your body if you did. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. All the love. Got a lot of love for y'all. And yeah, Pimp gonna start being more active on here again. You dig? You know, sometimes I'll be going on my little hiatuses and shit like that, but I'm about to start being more active on here again. So y'all stay tuned. You dig? I hope y'all enjoyed the stories. And we're gonna do this again in a minute. Best of blessings to y'all. If you're moving around tonight or this weekend, be safe. And I'll holler at y'all in a minute.